Rome was weakened by their poor economy, political problems, and disease before the Visigoths' attack, and that made it much worse when the invaders ransacked Rome. This resulted in what many consider to be the fall of Rome. A king, King Kulowiec, who had won many battles, converted to Christianity, and many people followed him. This helped reunite Rome. In the Battle of Tours, the Muslim came to attack yet another group of Christians, but they were well prepared and waiting for them. Charles Martel led the Christians to victory.
In 768, the grandson of Charles Martel became king of the Franks, and then Pope Leo asked him to spread Christianity through Eastern Europe. After he spread Christianity through Europe, Pope Leo then crowned him Emperor of the Romans, which would start a new era because he wanted to bring back the Roman Empire. When Charlemagne died in the year 814, there was anarchy in Eastern Europe, and no one knew what to do. So then Vikings started, and they started killing and robbing small villages of their riches that had no defense. Alright. The kings owned the land, but they had no protection, so they let the nobles live on the land and grow crops as long as they paid money and were loyal to the king. Then the knights were the ones who protected it from Viking invasion. The end.
The peasant life was full of farming on the king's land. The idols worked in the field plowing with the ox. The men would stand in the back driving the plow, and the woman would guide the ox. The children would work in the field, planting and weeding the plants, and would work with livestock.
Food, 2, 1, go.
Food was scarce and diseases went through the villages, and peasants didn't live past 35. Peasants made tools to make farming easier. Their trade routes expanded and middle class evolved. Guilds were the ones to open businesses, but to open a business they had to get a charter from the king. It was the time for them to make more money.
Go.
The Pope thought of himself to be a king or a god. He thought of himself to be a god on earth. The church was so powerful, it was the biggest building in the village and decided to make up its own laws called the canon laws. The worst two laws were called excommunication and interdict, which they wouldn't get the traditional Christian burial.
In the Middle Ages, Pope Urban II wanted the Christians to stop fighting one another and ordered them to begin the Crusades to take Jerusalem back from the Muslims. Pope Urban II told the Christians that the Muslims were the aggressors and deserved to be attacked. The Christians had much more men, but were still the aggressors in the situation. I can imagine that the Muslims must have been very surprised when they beat the many powerful Christians due to the fact that there were so many of them and so little of them. The plague started out in China, and the fleas had the plague and gave the people who lived there the plague. Due to trade and ship routes, the plague eventually left China and went over to Italy and Europe. Because of the plague, 1/3 of the people in Europe had died.